Hey, welcome. We've all been there, right? You're standing in a supermarket line in a brand new country, feeling just a little nervous about what you're supposed to say. Well, today, we're going to master that exact moment. Let's break down the whole supermarket checkout process so you can shop with total confidence. You've got your cart full, you're walking up to the registers, and then, boom, that little bit of anxiety kicks in. What are they going to ask me? What should I say back? If you've ever felt that, trust me, you are not alone. But don't you worry, we're about to turn you into a checkout pro. All right, first things first. Before you even say a single word, you've got a choice to make. So let's start with the very basics of just getting into the right line. Okay, so your first decision happens right here. See those different lanes? If you just grabbed a few things like for dinner tonight, you're going to want to head for the express lane. That's for shoppers with a small number of items, usually about 15 or less. But if you've done a huge weekly shop, the regular lane is where you belong. You know, picking the right one isn't just about going faster, it's also just kind of polite to everyone else. So you're in line, and now it's time to unload your stuff onto the conveyor belt. That's that moving black belt that brings all your groceries right up to the cashier. Here's a little pro tip for you. Put the heavy stuff, like cans and bottles, down first. That way you create a nice stable base for the more fragile things like your eggs or a loaf of bread.
All right, you are officially in line and your groceries are on the belt. Now for the really fun part, saving some money. Let's talk about how you can use deals and discounts just like a local.
I'm sure you've seen these before. Coupons, they're basically just little tickets that get you a discount. It could be a piece of paper you clipped from a flyer or maybe a digital code on your phone. Either way, you just hand it to the cashier and you get money off that specific item. Easy as that. But, and this is a big but, here is the one thing you absolutely have to remember about coupons. They expire. Always check the date before you even get to the checkout. An expired coupon is pretty much just a useless piece of paper, so double check that yours is still good to go. Now here's another awesome way to save. A lot of stores have what's called a rewards card or a club card. You scan it when you check out and it magically unlocks special sales prices, or it lets you build up points for future savings. It's almost always free to sign up, so it's definitely worth asking about. So your items have been scanned, your discounts have been applied, and now it is time for the final step, paying up and talking with the cashier. You are going to hear this question almost every single time you go shopping. Paper or plastic? The first time you hear it, it might sound a little weird, but it's actually a super straightforward question. Yeah, don't overthink it. The cashier is just asking what kind of bag you want. You can just say, paper please, or plastic is fine. Oh, and keep in mind, a lot of places now charge a little fee for bags, or they really encourage you to bring your own reusable ones. Okay, now here is a super convenient service you need to know about. If you're paying with a debit card, the machine might ask if you want cash back. This is basically like turning the checkout lane into your own personal mini ATM. So how does that work? Let's break it down. Imagine your groceries cost $40. You can tell the cashier, I'd like $20 cash back, please. The machine then charges your card for the total, which is $60, and the cashier just hands you a $20 bill with your receipt. It totally saves you a trip to the bank. Look, life isn't perfect, and that means not every trip to the supermarket is going to be perfect either. So what happens when things get a little, well, awkward? Here are a couple of phrases to help you just breeze right through those moments. So let's just say you're in the express lane, and you suddenly realize you have 16 items, not 15. Oops, if the person behind you is giving you a bit of a look, you could use this friendly, really informal phrase. When you say cut me some slack, you're basically just asking for a little bit of grace. It's a really lighthearted way to admit you bent a tiny rule and to ask them not to get too worked up about it. It definitely works best if you say it with a smile. And now for this absolute classic. Picture it. You get to the front of the line and your card is declined. Or maybe you realize you left your wallet at home. It's so frustrating and, yeah, a little embarrassing. This phrase is the perfect thing to say. Saying it's just not my day is a simple and pretty much universally understood way to show that things are just going wrong for you. It signals to the cashier and everyone around you that you're just having a moment of bad luck. And honestly, most people will be really understanding.
Okay, that was a ton of great info. So let's pull it all together into a quick little cheat sheet that you can remember for your next shopping trip.
So, to recap the really key takeaways. Remember to pick the express lane if you only have a few items.
always check that expiration date on your coupons. Be ready with your answer for paper or plastic. And finally, keep a friendly phrase like, "cut me some slack," in your back pocket, just in case you need it.
And there you have it. With these tools, that checkout line is no longer some source of anxiety. It's just another simple part of your day. So the real question is, now that you're feeling this confident, what other everyday situation are you ready to go out and conquer?